pretty amazing little device I have in my hand. I want to tell you about this. You know, we always conclude SolidWorks World, I think, on an up note because we talk about students and what they're doing. And this is really actually my favorite part because I really enjoy talking about what's going on in today's schools and universities. The UC Irvine team, a couple of members of the student design team are with us today. Team, if you would stand up, please. The rest of them are back at school doing work. This may look very, very small, but this is very powerful. A couple of years ago, they got very excited about a national design contest to come up with a very small device that could be launched as part of a rocket payload into suborbital space. That payload would point to Earth and take pictures of the Earth and then transmit those pictures back. Well, they came up with the design competing against hundreds of other schools, and they won. Their design was selected as the best in the nation. But they didn't stop there. They were so excited about what they did that they contacted NASA. And they told NASA, we want to launch this. We don't want this just to be some kind of a workbook product that ends up going on a shelf somewhere. NASA invited them in for a formal design review. They used their 3D printer to print this device that I'm holding in my hand. And with this, along with a fantastic killer presentation, they were able to convince NASA to free up enough space to allow this to go into outer space at the end of the year. So this is the design, and then the hard work really had to get started. It had to be a cube 10 by 10 by 10 centimeters in dimension. It had to be strong enough to withstand G-forces during launch. It has to deal with the temperature extremes that come with outer space. It has to deal with near zero gravity in a suborbital route. It has to be able to align itself to the surface of the Earth and take pictures of the Earth without any kind of mechanism for orienting or aligning involving any kind of jet structures or rockets. And it does it with a set of perpendicular magnets that align itself to the poles. And it also has to ultimately transmit those pictures back to Earth. I can't believe they trusted me with this because this is their actual working product, and I promise you I'll get it back into your hands safely. Let me tell you about the team. 25 different students came together to work on this product. They came from every engineering discipline, from the School of Mechanical Engineering, Civil, Electrical, Computer, and even Biomedical Engineering. They had to build systems for structural design, for communications, for power, for altitude, for thermal, for command, and for data handling and management. And then they put it through stress analysis to make sure that it could handle temperature and load extremes. So they were a very, very great example of using the simulation tool to be able to model this with the lightest possible materials. Now they're not done yet. They still have a lot of work left. And they have a hard date. We all know about hard dates and milestones. That rocket is being launched in December of 2010, the end of this year, with or without this payload. And they need your help. They can use some help from mentors and a little bit of financial help to finish this project. They're receiving no money or assistance from the federal government or NASA. They are doing this on their own initiative. Team, I know that there are hundreds of people here that are very close to your school that would love to help you work on this. And I'll just ask you, if you're interested in helping them finish this project and be part of a very exciting launch, then please come down after SolidWorks World to the front of the stage. Marie Blanchard will be looking for you. Marie, stand up and wave. Marie runs our education program. She'll be signing up volunteers. She can be very persuasive. Marie has a standing weekly meeting with me every 30 minutes, and she gets a whole lot of stuff out of us, but she gives so much back to the global education community. Well, this is a great example, but it really doesn't stop with here. Over and over again, as I tour the world, I see you involved in fantastic projects helping students in the community. Here in LA, the simulation team employees are working with the Hillcrest Elementary School on their science fair projects. Now, I would call this an unfair advantage. You've got a bunch of finite element experts helping to create elementary school science fair projects. It looks like the deck is going to be stacked, but I can't wait to see what they come up with. And resellers around the world donate their time and their talent and their money to help with team sponsorships for competitions like this, making a huge difference. And it doesn't stop just with resellers. You are involved as customers in your community. Let me tell you about one story that just blew me away. The other day we had a member of the Smith & Wesson team on stage, John Matrician. John is here along with Rich Picard. Gentlemen, if you could stand up for a second. I know I'm putting you on the spot. They're based in Western Massachusetts, and they saw that one of their local vocational schools was failing, that it didn't have the funding or the infrastructure to stay in business, and it was going to fail the community in developing engineering and machining skills needed to keep that community alive. On their own initiative, they approached their employer, Smith & Wesson, and they asked for money and resources and assets to save the school. Well, Smith & Wesson came through with a donation of $250,000 and an entire machining center set up with brand new Haas machining tools. So the Putnam Vocational School is back up on its feet and successful once again. An incredible job. Congratulations. Well, you've seen a lot of very, very exciting examples of what it's like to inspire students. This image is really one of my favorite. I saw this several years ago, and there is nothing more exciting than seeing the light go off in a student when they get it and when they get on board. That same feeling is shared by everybody in this audience. At some point in your life, something moved you to do what you're doing to make this world better. For us, it's also a very, very clear message. We cannot afford to stand still at a time like this. This is no time for us to relax and take it easy. It's no time for us to give up and wait for this economy to turn around. We have no choice but to get even more committed to delivering great technology and support for you to help our world out of the challenges that we're facing. We are not standing still, and we are committed to you to continue to make a difference. Let's take a look at what the last couple of days have been all